Lately, I've noticed something about myself.
What have you noticed?
I put a lot of pressure on myself to get things right. Even small things. A message, a reply, a simple choice. If it doesn't feel right, I feel tense very quickly.
So even small mistakes can feel big inside?
Yes, bigger than they should. Welcome back to English Daily with Emma and Jake. Today, we're talking about something a lot of people carry very quietly. The pressure to be perfect.
The pressure to do things well, not make mistakes, and not let anyone down.
We're going to talk about perfection, pressure, and why mistakes can feel heavier than they really are.
And if this has been part of your life too, this conversation may feel very familiar.
This feels connected to our last video, too.
Yeah. Last time, we talked about being kind to yourself. And this feels like part of the reason that can be hard.
Because if part of you feels like you always have to get things right, kindness can feel far away.
Yes. It can feel like pressure is the only thing keeping everything together.
That sounds heavy.
It is. One thing I notice is that I stop doing things freely.
What does that mean for you?
I start checking everything too much. I think too hard. I second guess small things. It's like I'm always trying not to get anything wrong.
So even simple moments start to feel loaded?
Yes, and that makes life feel more tiring than it should. So, what does perfect really mean to you in those moments? Honestly, I'm not trying to be amazing. Most of the time, I'm just trying not to fail.
That says a lot.
It's less about being impressive. It's more about not wanting to feel embarrassed, ashamed, or disappointing.
So the pressure is not only about standards.
No, a lot of it is fear.
I think many people live like that. From the outside, it can look like discipline, or responsibility, or being careful.
Yes, that's true.
But inside, it can feel like, if I get this wrong, I'll feel terrible.
That's why it gets so tiring. On the outside, everything may look fine, but inside, there's no room to relax.
And even when something goes well, it may not feel peaceful.
Yes. Sometimes it only feels like relief. That part really stays with me. I finish something, and instead of feeling proud, I just feel relieved that I didn't do it badly.
That's a painful difference.
It is, because relief disappears fast. Then the next thing comes and the pressure starts again.
So nothing ever really feels finished inside you.
Exactly. It just keeps moving forward.
Maybe the problem is not that you want to do well.
Right.
Maybe the harder part is this. Doing well starts to feel like the only safe option.
Yes, that feels very close to it.
And when that happens, mistakes stop feeling normal.
They start feeling dangerous. So where do you even begin with something like this?
Maybe with one simple question.
Which one?
What are you afraid a mistake will mean?
Ugh, that's a hard question.
Yes, but sometimes the hard question is the honest one.
I think mistakes make me feel smaller than they should.
Smaller how?
Less steady, less confident, less sure of myself. One small mistake can make me doubt a much bigger part of who I am.
That is a lot of weight for one moment to carry.
Yes, but that's how it feels sometimes.
Has it felt like this for a long time?
In different ways, yes. Wanting to do well is one thing. Feeling like I need to do well just to feel okay, that is something deeper.
That's an important difference.
Yes, because then performance and self-worth start getting mixed together.
And that can make everything feel heavier.
It really does.
I think there's a line between caring and carrying too much.
That's a good way to say it.
At first, high standards can feel healthy, but little by little, they can turn into constant pressure.
Yes. At first it feels responsible. Later it starts to feel tight.
And that is usually the moment when it stops helping.
Yes. That's when it starts taking more than it gives. Saying this out loud helps more than I expected.
I can hear that.
Maybe because I stopped calling it just trying my best. I can finally see it for what it is sometimes. Fear, pressure, overthinking, self-protection.
And once you can see it clearly, it stops feeling like your whole personality.
Yes. It becomes something I carry, not something I am. I keep thinking about how many people were praised for being good when they were young.
I've thought about that too.
If you become known as the one who handles things well, gets things right, and makes life easier for other people, then being imperfect can feel scary.
Because it touches more than the task itself.
Yes. It touches how lovable you feel, how worthy you feel. That's the part that hurts.
That may be why perfection can look so quiet from the outside.
Yes. It doesn't always look dramatic.
Sometimes it sounds like, let me fix that again. Or, I should have done better. Or, I can't send this yet.
That's true. It can hide inside very normal sentences.
And that makes it harder to notice.
Yes. Because it sounds reasonable, even when it's hurting you. Maybe the truth is simpler than I thought.
What feels true?
I do not really need to be perfect. I just want to feel safe, respected, enough.
That feels very honest.
Because perfection is not the real need. Reassurance is. I want to know that one mistake does not change my worth.
So when a mistake happens now, what do you want to remember?
I want to remember that one imperfect moment is not the whole story of who I am.
That feels important.
I need it to be. I think I've let small mistakes speak too loudly inside me.
And maybe they were never meant to carry that much meaning.
Yes, I think that's true. I also want to remember that trying matters. Learning matters. Showing up matters. Even when the result is not perfect.
That matters a lot.
Because if perfection is the only thing I respect, then there's no room for growth.
And no room for being human.
Exactly. And I don't want to live like that anymore. I feel a little lighter now.
I can hear that.
Not because I fixed everything, but because I'm being more honest about what's really been happening.
Sometimes honesty is where the change begins.
Yes. It makes me feel less trapped inside it. So maybe this is the real lesson.
What feels like the lesson?
You do not have to be perfect to deserve respect, care, or love.
That lands.
And if perfection has been your way of protecting yourself, maybe it's time to ask whether it's still helping you.
Or whether it's just making life heavier.
Yes, I think that's the question.
Let's review a few useful English lines from today.
You can say, I've been putting too much pressure on myself.
Or, I don't need to get everything perfect.
Another natural line is, one mistake doesn't define me.
And you can also say, I'm allowed to still be learning.
These are simple sentences, but they say something very real.
And sometimes simple words help the most.
I think the next time I start spiraling after a mistake, I want to stop and ask one question.
Which question?
What am I afraid this mistake means?
That's a good question.
Because sometimes the mistake is small, but the story I attach to it is very big.
Yes, and seeing that difference can change a lot.
Before we end today, I want to speak gently to the people who feel tired in this very specific way.
The kind of tired that comes from always trying to get things right.
The kind of tired where you keep fixing, checking, carrying, and trying, while quietly feeling afraid of getting something wrong.
And when you live like that for a long time, even small mistakes can start to feel much bigger than they are.
So tonight, please do not be too hard on yourself tonight.
You are not weak because this feels heavy. You may simply have been carrying more pressure than people can see.
And that matters. It really does. We hope this series can be a gentle place for you to come back to.
A place where you do not have to be flawless to feel understood.
You are allowed to be learning. You are allowed to be imperfect. And you are still worthy of care.
One mistake does not take away your value. One hard day does not erase who you are.
So please, try not to measure yourself by your most imperfect moment.
If this conversation meant something to you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.
We'd love to keep walking with you.
See you in the next video.